Alex here. I built a screen printing shop to over $100,000 a month twice, and the second time I did it in less than 6 months. And I did so using the sales process behind me. So if you own a screen printing shop right now, but you're doing all the sales, or you cannot train a random person off the streets to close deals on your behalf, this video is for you. So I spent 6 years building up the sales process through trial and error, and I'm here to share with you. So we broke it down into 5 steps. The first part begins with the initial discovery that you already have. But before you can even build out a sales team, the skill set you need to learn is how to generate leads. So right now, we have the process dialed in so that we turn on Facebook ads and boom, we get 100 leads that come through the door. And to do that, all you need to do is build a really good offer that catches attention of a stranger. So before these steps right here, you have to be able to generate leads on demand. Once you know how to do that, the next part is learning how to capture all those leads and turning those strangers into paying customers. And that's what this video is about. So once you learn how to generate the leads, the next thing you have to do is channel that traffic towards the quote form. You probably already have a quote form, but the difference is I split tested our quote form every single week for the past 6 years. So this quote form, what I found from my research is that if it's past 4 to 5 questions, the drop off gets way too high. So to simplify the process, all we ask for is if they have a product in mind, and that's not like Gildan, Next Level, C2 Sport, whatever it is, it's simply short sleeve, long sleeve, hoodie, crew neck, or other. We gotta keep it super simple because these guys don't understand the terminology. So what you wanna do here is just capture a very general piece of information from what they're looking for. You wanna make this super easy for them and give them an incentive to fill this out. And as soon as they fill this out, you have to set up automations so that your sales team gets a notification right away. So once they fill this form, ideally, you want your sales team to reach out to them within the first 5 minutes. And you have to track that metric. We call that speed to lead. So at our company right now, we help screen printing shops get more customers and close them. So we measure this metric right here. If it's under 5 minutes, that's within KPI. If it's over 5 minutes, we have to identify why it's taking so long for this shop to reach out to that lead. Say that's within metric, within KPI. You're reaching out to these leads within the first 5 minutes. What you need to do next is you cannot send them an invoice. Instead, you need to call to present the quote. That's step 2. So step 1, they fill out a very general form with just 4 questions. Anything more, they might as well just go on Custom Ink and place an order there. If you require these guys to bring the vector files, the actual items, and all these other details, you don't deserve to charge retail prices. You deserve to charge contract prices. So all you want to do is make the experience super easy for them. Think about how you can lower the friction from the customer's point of view. These guys work other jobs. They own their own businesses. Chances are they don't have a graphic artist. They don't know anything about t-shirts. You have to keep the process super simple for your clients. After that, you get this form, you call to present the quote. And to do this, 1, you need a fast way to quote. That means you have to centralize your pricing so that a stranger, someone who's not smart, can quote and present prices to your customers. And number 2, you have to know the profit on the job, and then that way you can know how much you can negotiate and how much you give as commission to your sales team. Because there's no point of having a sales team if you lose money on every job they sell because you have to pay out commissions. So the first things first is you need a fast way to quote, and the second thing is you need to know how much profit that job is going to bring you. Once you do that, you can follow our sales script, and at the moment where you're almost going to close the deal, we do what's called the assumed close. So the way this process works is they fill out the form, you call them within the first 5 minutes, and you want to go over this form. So they already told you they're looking for short sleeves, a rough quantity, but your goal here is to find out why are they buying shirts. That's the first question you gotta figure out. You gotta clarify why they're there. So if they're looking for shirts to play at a football league and they want spandex, really good material stuff, they're not afraid to pay for Nike shirts. If you present Gildan shirts to them, you're gonna lose the deal. Alright? So you wanna first figure out why the hell are they buying shirts? Are they buying it for their company, for their crew to wear at a job site? Or are they buying this for their customers to give out and give them as appreciation gifts? Chances are, you gotta find out why that is. After you do that, you want to go down to what's called the assumed close. So you go over their details, find out why, and it's your job as the expert to present the best items for that job. So if someone has a gym and I know they want some nicer shirts, I'd probably present the next level shirt to them, or maybe a polyester shirt. Because based off my conversation, using my judgment, it's in their best interest to get this item. But the way we do it is we actually present two prices at the same time. So this is called the assumed close. Once we gather the detail of whatever they're looking to buy, what you want to do next is present two prices. One is usually a nicer quality price, something a little bit more expensive, and one that's cheaper and less expensive. Both of these should be good options to the client. The reason why you give them this option is because you're not asking if they want to buy these shirts and if this price is good. Instead, what you're doing is, or do you want this shirt? Which one do you want? It's a question of which one instead of if you want this. And when you give them two options, if they choose one of the options, that's a very good option for you because they just chose and they decided they wanted to buy. But more importantly, they just chose their own price. So this equation right here, the this or that, assumed close brings two things. One, they said yes to buying without knowing, and second, they just chose their own price. So if you give them something more expensive, you give them something lower, they just chose which price they want, they won't complain about the price. Well, the chances of them complaining are a lot less. But more importantly, since you're on the phone, they don't price gouge you as hard. If you send an invoice without talking to them, they're just gonna shop around and find a better price. But since you have them on the phone right now and you built that connection, chances are you can be a little bit more expensive and you can close the deal on the phone. And they'll be okay paying more prices because they built that relationship. But anyways, once you get to the point where you know what they want, you present two options, this or that. Once they choose one, you say, great. This is called the second close. All we say after we get them to choose one option is we ask them, hey, do you want hats with this too, or are you good? And the point of us asking that is because naturally humans will say, no, I'm good, I don't want anything else. But when they say, no, I don't want anything else, they close the deal on themselves for the second time. So if you follow this right here, this is the first close and this is the second close. So first they choose, do they want them or this item, and then at the very end, they choose whether or not they want more items or this is good, this is all I want. So if you steps 3 and 4 is that you're closing them twice. But now it's time to get payment. More often than not, you should collect a full payment up front. Whatever this quote is, just try to collect it up front. So the way we word it is we just follow the script and we use very specific wording so it sounds seamless. But say some people push back and they don't want to give you a full payment. They want to see a mock-up first. All you have to say is, hey, no problem. What are your main concerns? Chances are, maybe they're not 100% confident that you're the best place to get it, or they don't know if the design will come out the way they want it. And now you can overcome and explain away why that objection doesn't matter. You can bring up saying, hey, no worries, we have a 100% satisfaction guarantee. If you're not happy with this for X, Y, and Z, I will reprint everything. Whatever your guarantee is, hit them there. And if they're still not willing to pay you the full deposit, this is what you do. All you have to say is, no problem. We just usually charge $20, $10. It could even be $0. All you want to do right here is charge them something to collect their card and put it on file. So usually we just tell them, hey, it's a fully refundable deposit. It goes for our artists, and then our artists can eat dinner tonight and we can feed their families. So the $20 goes to your order and it helps us pay for our graphic designers. We'll create the mock-up and then we'll send it back over to you, all right? Usually, if they don't pay that $20, they weren't gonna buy anyways. So if you have an issue collecting $20, you probably have a bigger issue than just marketing and sales. But anyways, once you collect that deposit, you now have the credit card on file. So make sure you save the card on file when you send that invoice over. Because what you're gonna do next is when they approve the mock-up, make the mock-up conditional that if they approve this mock-up, they get billed for the rest of the balance. So that way you collect the whole thing up front. And you can avoid the situation where you send the mock-up, you spend hours or minutes creating a mock-up and they ghost you. In this case, they already paid you $20 for the mock-up. If they say yes to the mock-up, we usually call them again and say, hey, are these sizes still good? They say yes. And then we'll say, okay, we'll run the card on file, and then I just want to confirm you need these shirts by X, Y, and Z. If they say yes to that, we run the card and you just close the whole deal. And this right here is the exact sales process that we used. It's very simple. You ask them what they're looking for, you go over it with them on the phone, and then you give them two options, they choose one or the other, and then you close them again by asking if they want anything else. Do you want hats too, or just this? They say, no, I'm good, and you just close them for the second time. the second time. Lastly, collect the full pay or get the card on file via a deposit, small little art fee that's credited towards your order, and it helps us pay for our graphic designers, and it's fully refundable if you don't like what you see. Now you have the card on file, charge them for everything else when they approve the rest of the design. And that's how you collect 100% deposits up front, and then afterwards, when you upsell them with promotional products, it's a piece of cake. Also, as a hint, as you send the mock-up over, you collect the full payment. Just wait a day or two and say, hey, I saw this deal, it's on sale, and I thought of you, and just mock up a promotional products item, put their logo on it, and say, would you be interested in this as well? If 1 out of 5 people take that upsell, it pays for your ad spend. So anyways, this is the sales process right here. It took us years to figure out, and this is the easiest thing to do to collect full payments up front.